We've also stocked all the stores with 3 to 4 times what they sell in a week just for this weekend. So we feel like we're really prepared for this weekend, and we're also ready to bring more if we have to.
A historic day for the Land of Enchantment at the sale of recreational, or as the sale of recreational marijuana is now underway. ABC7 was at our Greenleaf Dispensary in Las Cruces when the store opened its doors to a long line of customers just after midnight.
And the green rush didn't end there. Throughout the day, people in New Mexico have continued to show up at the dispensaries that opened today and took part in the very first day of this new industry in New Mexico.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for ABC 7 at 6. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Eric Elkin.
From dirt to dollars and grass to cash, in just 12 hours, customers purchased almost $500,000 worth of recreational marijuana in New Mexico. And the lines just keep on growing in Las Cruces. ABC 7's Kate Beery is live at the dispensary where it all started. And Kate, how is the line looking at this hour?
Eric, this is the dispensary that started it all. Our Greenleaf opened 18 hours ago at midnight. You can see at least 60 people in line behind me, ready to make history as some of the first in the state to buy recreational marijuana legally. You can see them winding in the door right there. But let's revisit exactly what this entrance looked like 18 hours ago.
I'm waiting for him to get in there.
Oh, I got here around 6:30.
Just look at all the people in line hoping to be part of history in New Mexico. This is the line for our Greenleaf, and at 11:45 there were 250 people in line. Now it is about 12:53. There are still hundreds in line at the back of the line.
Thanks for pointing that out. That's kind of.
Everybody make some noise. We're about to make history right here. 3, 2, 1.
I wasn't expecting to be the first one in line, but it was definitely worth the wait. I'm really excited that this is to be a part of history, man.
And we said, well, if we can sell at 12:01 a.m., we're going to do it.
Jeremy Sandoval was first in line at our Greenleaf. He could be the first New Mexican to legally buy marijuana for recreational use.
Wow, I'm speechless.
Demand's huge. We have a huge line outside. I imagine every dispensary does right now.
Ultra Health opened their doors at 10 a.m. By far the largest company in the state with $60 million in revenue last year.
This is a historic moment for New Mexico as cannabis prohibition is officially over.
It is an amazing plant. It works wonders.
A lot of money that the Texas government's missing out on.
3, 2, 1.
I'm excited. I'm here to see really like what the prices look like.
A dream come true. I've been waiting for this since I was like 16.
You know, we were here till midnight last night, just trying to get the facility prepped and ready to go. Our team members were here.
With the owners providing me security, I can tell you that this is 3 pounds of cannabis valued at between $15,000 and $20,000 of an indica dominant hybrid.
It's been great. It's been an amazing experience. I really can't even describe it.
18 hours and the demand for marijuana has not stopped in Las Cruces. We have more than 60 people in line here, and you know, people are getting off work. It's sure to be a busy weekend. However, producers are concerned, as we've been reporting, that there could be a shortage because the state capped the number of plants that producers can grow. So stay tuned to our coverage throughout the weekend and we'll see if these long lines continue. Live in Las Cruces with our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, Kate Beery, ABC 7.
All right, Kate. And marijuana sales might start today in New Mexico, but that's just about the only place in our region where you can buy, smoke, or consume the plant.
In Texas, we are still enforcing the law. We don't make a decision on which laws we'd like to enforce. We enforce them all.
Marijuana is not only illegal in Texas, it's a Schedule I substance at the federal level. That means you could get in trouble for having marijuana at the airport or passing through a Border Patrol checkpoint. Officers in New Mexico and Texas are preparing for new challenges. ABC 7's Kate Beery explores what obstacles they face in her special report, which airs later tonight on ABC 7 at 10.
Cannabis is still illegal in the state of Texas, like we said. The police department in Anthony, Texas, says They are regularly finding people with marijuana during traffic stops.
And the problem is most people don't realize they're even in Texas. The city is literally split by the state line between Texas and New Mexico.
ABC 7's Dylan McKim spoke with the police department today, and he joins us live with more. Dylan.
And Stephanie, Eric, the Anthony, Texas Police Department wants to remind the community that you can buy and consume your marijuana on this side of the state line. In fact, there's a store less than 100 feet north of the state line. But as soon as you cross it and you are caught with it, they want to remind you, you will be arrested. Recreational sales of cannabis are now legal, but only in New Mexico. In Texas, it's still illegal. That difference in laws can literally be seen right in Anthony. This cannabis store is just 100 feet away from the state line. It's located on the main road that runs through town. That road also runs into Texas.
Once they cross over, it makes it illegal in the state of Texas.
Sergeant Eddie Orozco and his department patrol that main road, and he says they regularly find people with marijuana. ABC 7 captured a vehicle being pulled over for a damaged light. It looks like a normal traffic stop. And then 10 minutes later, 3 people are arrested. Sergeant Orozco says they found marijuana and cocaine in the car. A problem the sergeant has encountered is that many don't realize they left the state of New Mexico. Driving in Anthony can be tricky because at any moment you could cross the state line without even realizing it. Like right now, I'm driving on a neighborhood road. There's no sign here, but I just crossed the state line. And if I perform some kind of traffic violation, I could get pulled over.
During the time of the traffic stop, the officer picks up the odor of burned marijuana, and then they'll, from the traffic violation, it escalates to a possible possession of marijuana.
Now, we've all seen the movies. We know how people act when they get caught with something they're not supposed to have in their car. If it's cold outside, they're sweating, or the vein in their neck is popping. But Sergeant Orozco says that New Mexican drivers with cannabis in their car don't act like that at all. That's because they still think they're in New Mexico. In fact, they even give the officer their driver's license along with a medicinal marijuana card.
That's when the officer explains to the driver that you're in Texas.
Back to those 3 that were arrested on Friday, Sergeant Orozco says one of them even pulled out a medicinal marijuana card.
Keep it in New Mexico, you know, if it's medical or what have you, but do not cross it into Texas.
Sergeant Orozco says that his department has been trying to educate the community, but sometimes that lesson is not learned until an arrest is made. So they are stressing to the community, if you are going to buy marijuana and consume it, make sure it's north of that state line right there. Reporting in Anthony, Dylan McKim, ABC 7.
All right, Dylan. We were even just talking about that Highway 28. There's that little portion right by Zinvaya Vineyard, which is technically in Canutillo, where you actually could be driving north on Highway 28, be in New Mexico, then be back in Texas for just a brief stint, and then back into New Mexico. So you really have to be aware of where you are. Although the sale of cannabis is now legal, there are several restrictions that you need to be aware of. As you just heard from Dylan, the drug remains illegal in Texas, but what are the main restrictions in New Mexico?
You have to be 21 years old to purchase or possess cannabis. While legal at the state level, it remains illegal at the federal level, meaning you can still be charged by federal law enforcement agencies.
Each person is limited to 2 ounces of cannabis, 16 grams of cannabis extract, and 800 milligrams of edible cannabis at one time. Now, the law requires any excess of that amount to be stored safely in the person's residence and out of view.
Growing cannabis for personal use is also not allowed under the law in New Mexico. Congress is inching closer to decriminalizing marijuana. Today, the House of Representatives passed a bill that would prevent federal agencies from denying federal workers security clearances for cannabis use. The vote was by a slim margin. The House bill would allow the Veterans Administration to recommend medical marijuana to vets living with post-traumatic stress disorder, plus gain revenue by authorizing a sales tax on marijuana products. In addition, the bill would expunge the records of people convicted of nonviolent cannabis offenses. Senate Democrats have a similar legalization bill in the queue. However, neither that bill nor the House passed MORE Act is expected to get the 60-vote threshold needed for passage in the Senate.